Long, long ago, before the mountains learned their stoic posture and the oceans discovered their rhythm, the world was young and raw. It was then that the first dragons emerged, colossal beings forged from starlight and volcanic breath, their scales shimmering like captured rainbows. Alderan, whose hide glowed like molten gold, carved the first valleys with a sweep of his tail. Silvra, cloaked in scales like moonlit silver, coaxed the first rivers from the weeping stones with her cool breath. They were not masters but tender gardeners, shaping the cradle of life with immense, gentle claws, nurturing forests and filling the skies with the first, tentative birds. Their deep, rumbling voices were the first music, a comforting vibration felt deep within the newly formed bones of the earth. Yet, within the vibrant tapestry they wove, a subtle shadow began to stir. It wasn't a beast with fangs or claws, but a creeping emptiness, a cold whisper that drained warmth and silenced nascent songs. It seeped from the deepest, forgotten cracks in the world, a void hungering for the vibrant energy the dragon's nurtured flowers wilted where it touched, vibrant greens turned ashen, and a profound silence fell over patches of land, chilling even the dragon's ancient hearts. They felt the world's vibrant pulse falter, a discordant note in the symphony they had composed. Their fiery spirits sensed the encroaching chill, a threat not to their bodies, but to the very essence of the life they cherished. One night, beneath a sky ablaze with unfamiliar constellations, the first dragons gathered on the highest peak, where the air was thin and the stars seemed close enough to touch. Their immense forms, usually radiating power and warmth, seemed subdued, etched with a deep, shared sorrow. Alderan spoke, his voice like boulders grinding deep within the earth, resonating with a profound weariness. The shadow feeds on the life we foster, he rumbled. Our very presence, our constant exertion, fuels the world, but it also creates ripples. This void exploits. Silvra, her silver scales reflecting the cold starlight, added, her voice a sighing wind, to truly shield the cradle, we must become its quiet guardians, not its active weavers. We must withdraw our living flame, lest it become the beacon that draws the shadow's final, consuming embrace. The decision settled upon them. Heavy as a fallen star, it was a sacrifice born of ultimate love, a retreat to ensure the garden's survival. They would not fight with fire and fury, but with silence and stillness. Across the vast lands they had shaped, they began their solemn preparations with deliberate care. They sought out places of immense power and profound peace, the heart of the deepest forest where ancient trees hummed, the caldera of a sleeping volcano radiating latent warmth, the silent depths of the purest ocean trench. In each chosen sanctuary, they began to weave their slumber. They curled immense forms around mountains like protective serpents, nestled within caverns that glowed with inner light, or settled onto seabeds where luminous creatures drifted like slow constellations. Then came the time of sealing from deep within their chests, where their molten hearts beat with the rhythm of the earth. They drew forth not fire, but liquid amber, warm, golden, and radiant with their concentrated life essence. This luminous substance flowed like slow honey, encasing their colossal forms layer by precious layer. It was a self-made cocoon, a barrier against the world's draining touch, and a vessel preserving their immense power as the warm amber enveloped them, solidifying into a crystalline shell that pulsed with a soft, internal light. A profound stillness descended. Their breathing slowed to the pace of geological shifts. Their mighty hearts beat only once for every passing season. Their conscious thoughts faded, replaced by a deep, dreamless vigilance, a silent sentinel program woven into the fabric of the world itself. Centuries folded into millennia. The world above changed dramatically. Mountains rose and fell, ice ages came and went, and new creatures walked the land, including humans. The first dragons passed into legend, then myth, then faded almost entirely from memory. Yet their influence remained in the quiet places. People sometimes felt an inexplicable peace, a profound silence in an ancient grove that felt protective, not empty, an unusual warmth emanating from a deep cave on a winter's night, A sense of being watched over by something immensely old and kind while traversing a treacherous pass. Whispers of dragon bones shaping the land persisted in folklore, a dim echo of the truth. Generations later, a young scholar named Alderan, studying crumbling star charts and geological anomalies, began to see a pattern others dismissed as coincidence. She tracked the locations of inexplicable warmth sources, areas of unnatural calm, and strangely resilient ecosystems. Her journey led her to a hidden valley, high in the mountains, untouched by the ravages of time. There, beneath a waterfall that fell like liquid crystal, she found it partially veiled by moss and vines, yet unmistakable. A colossal, radiant form, encased in warm, golden amber. It wasn't a skeleton, but a slumbering giant, its scales still faintly shimmering beneath the crystalline shell. A profound sense of peace washed over her, deeper than any she had ever known. She understood, with a certainty that shook her soul, that this was no dead relic. This was a guardian. This was Alderan. The legends were true, and the protectors slept on. Alderan sat beside the ancient sentinel, the hum of the waterfall a soothing lullaby. She didn't speak, for words felt too small in the presence of such timeless sacrifice. Instead, she simply felt the enduring warmth radiating from the amber, the deep, silent pulse of life preserved within, the overwhelming sense of being protected by a love older than kingdoms. She realized the first dragons hadn't abandoned the world. They had woven themselves into its very foundations. Their slumber was their shield, their sacrifice the bedrock upon which all life unknowingly thrived. As the first stars pierced the twilight sky above the hidden valley, mirroring the constellations from the age of the dragons, Alderan whispered a promise to the silent guardian: to remember, to honor the quiet, enduring love that held the shadows at bay, allowing the world to dream safely through the long night. And deep within his amber tomb, perhaps in the slow-motion dreamscape of eternity, Alderan felt the echo of her gratitude, a tiny, warm spark against the vast, silent vigil.